Beatz Media presents the Scoop and Score Football Show.
Homie chomping. What you eating on?
Raisinets.
Oh, if that's not the whitest thing you could possibly be eating. Outside of talking about football, I don't think there's a whiter thing.
Hey, man. No, talking about football, I don't know if that's completely white.
It's not
If I was
completely white.
talking about golf,
Oh, yeah.
with
Tennis.
my khaki shorts and talking about how I'm going to put salt and pepper on my steaks tonight, then yeah. But
Tennis as well, I feel like could be it.
yeah, I rarely watch tennis.
All right.
I'll watch Djokovic, but that's about it.
Let's go. Hi, everybody, and welcome in here to another episode of the Scoop and Score Football Show, brought to you by Ball N Beatz Media. Mr. Spencer Gallup.
Yo.
Action-packed week we got coming up here.
Week 1 of college football. We're back to football.
We're back, and we're
I know
better
we
than
kinda
ever.
had football last week with, the Dublin game, but this is the real week of football. I mean, I know people, some people get excited for Farmageddon, but now we really get into the really good games because we got a ton this week.
We got a ton of top 10 matchups this week,
Yeah.
let alone the rest of everyone else starting. That Farmageddon game was brutal, by the way. First half was awful. 4
was
turnovers
raining.
combined. It was raining. They barely painted the field. The lines were, you could barely see
You
it.
need to
You could
get rid of the Dublin game. Like it's
They do.
It's not working. Like if you want to do a game overseas, don't do it in Dublin because after that disaster, they need to move on. Like
Don't
that
worry.
that's a pretty important game for the Big 12. That's a conference game. That's a big
a rivalry.
game,
It's a massive
game. I remember learning about that it was going to be in Dublin, and I was surprised. But they need to have the game somewhere else. And if they're going to do this week 0 thing, they just need to make sure that it's in a stadium that doesn't look like complete, you know what. So
It's all right. We have 2 Michigan teams going to Germany next year, which makes perfect sense.
that might be even worse of
Yeah.
a game. I'm sorry, love the MAC, but Western Michigan has no business being in. Was it London? Is that where it's being played?
That's going to Germany.
Germany. That's right. Yeah,
They're playing it.
Western
I think.
Michigan versus Michigan. in
I
Germany.
think it's going to be Frankfurt, Germany. I could be wrong, but yeah, that just makes no. You are 50, 60, 70 miles away. Nah, probably a little more than that. It's like 80, 90, but it's like you're in the same state.
Kalamazoo and Ann Arbor. You don't need to.
You're in the same state. Why are you going to Germany? I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but that's neither here nor there because before we get into what we're going to talk about today, you guys should subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
Should hit that push notification bell to stay up to date on the videos. Should follow us on the social media. We're going to have more posts coming out on the Instagram. See more of our content here that we publish on these videos. You guys can go like those posts on Instagram. You've seen our brackets. We're going 12 for 12. Well, I know I am at least, but I don't know about Spencer.
I mean, last year I picked the national champion, but that was after the bracket got revealed, so that's when I get going.
That's fair.
Preseason wasn't great, so
It's all right. We both have, hey, Virginia Tech last year. He's got Georgia Tech this year. It's all the Techs, and I have Texas Tech. We love our Techs over
all
here.
the text.
But yeah, you guys should go follow the Instagram because we're going to have more graphics come up on weekly posts. You're going to see our week 1 picks right there. You're going to see everything else right there, and you're going to see these beautiful faces right there. Okay? You should go follow us on our Instagram. All right, we got to get into what we're going to talk about today. We did our AFC breakdowns last week. Of course, the Chargers are going to win the AFC West because obviously they're the only good team in the AFC West, and no other team with, a now happily engaged couple involved in that division. We're switching over to the NFC side today, and we got to start off with the NFC East. I think number 1 is pretty cutthroat.
Dallas, right? They're back.
I mean, they could,
They're the boys, correct? That's what I've been told all offseason.
Brian
This is their year.
Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer's one heck of a hire,
Yeah.
George Pickens is a great wide receiver too. In reality, he is a great wide receiver too.
He's a perfect Cowboy. He's gonna fit right in there.
Deuce Vaughn is no longer a Cowboy though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean He's like 5'3", so.
It's 5'6". Give him more credit than that.
Oh. Ooh. I am taller than Deuce Vaughn.
Javonte Williams is running back 1 starting week 1 for him, though. How about that?
Jaden Blue, shout out Jaden Blue, is on my fantasy team. He will be getting reps soon, and he'll be the starter in Dallas.
I agree, but number 1's obviously the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs. I mean, there's no weakness on this roster. I think the only real question mark you could say is the replacements of Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. It's going to be younger.
Defensive line, but at the same time, I mean, they have Jordan Davis.
Exactly.
And Jalen Carter. So, edge rusher, maybe. Their edge rusher might not be as good as they lost Sweat to Arizona last year, but this Eagles team is unbelievable.
The secondary is elite. We expect DeJean to step up again more this year. We expect Quinyon Mitchell to probably get a little more snaps.
He's so good. I'm so glad. I'm so happy for him. He
for
was
him to
so
be
good last year.
For him to be 49th on the top 100 right out the gate, like, come on. And he barely got interceptions. It just goes to show how good he really was. He didn't get any interception until the postseason.
The Eagles draft last year was unbelievable. Cooper DeJean.
The Eagles draft the last 4 years has been nothing but unbelievable. They just keep getting the guys that fall.
That all fans want. Like,
yes.
They're names that fans know. They're names that fans are saying, hey, this guy's pretty good. I wanted Quinyon on the Lions. He went a few picks earlier. I also want, and I know Packers fans wanted Cooper DeJean because, he's in Iowa. Iowa white. He's all the stereotypes for being a Green Bay Packer. And they both go to the Eagles, and they both ball out year 1. So they're going to be good for a while.
They will be very, very good.
Philly's not going away anytime soon.
And they have the best front office in the league right now. Howie Roseman's easily the best general manager. It's not close. In Philadelphia, this offense is still going to be good. Saquon Barkley coming off 2,000-plus yards rushing.
Another question mark. Saquon is injury prone. He still is. And I think everyone's biggest issue with him is availability now. He had an unbelievable generational year last year. He got over 2,000 rushing yards. I think he was one of 9 running backs in NFL history to do that. Can he do anything close to that again is going to be the biggest question because, Saquon carried Jalen Hurts last year. Jalen Hurts made some plays, but, Jalen Hurts only threw 18 touchdowns last year in 17 games. Saquon was arguably that entire offense mixed in with some A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith. If Saquon regresses at all, this Eagles team takes a big hit because Saquon, he was their offense last year. Essentially, 2,000 rushing yards. He's your offense. He's your focal point. If he goes down, or if he's not as good as he was last year, no, I don't think the Eagles regress a ton. But I do think that they lose a few more games, and they might not be the 1 seed in the NFC, and maybe Washington. Because I'm assuming we're going to both put Washington at 2. Maybe Washington will give them a fight, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, my worst case scenario for Philadelphia, they're still going to have a winning record. I think that there's no doubt, unless something catastrophic like Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown all have season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have, who even is their backup anymore? Sam Howell? I think Sam Howell just got traded there. I believe he's now the backup.
Yeah, because Kyle McCord got released.
Kyle McCord got released, and they cut Dorian Thompson-Robinson. So, in the trade for Kenny Pickett. Well,
you can say that about any team and their quarterback.
You could.
Any team who is is screwed when their starter gets down.
Yeah. I think this team, out of anyone in the entire league, has the highest ceiling. But their worst case scenario I have is 10-7, and best case is 16-1. I think they do have the 4th toughest strength of schedule in the NFL this season. So my prediction, I have them going 12-5. I think they could maybe start a little rocky here and there, first couple of weeks, maybe they're 2-2, and everyone's like, oh, is Philadelphia, are they bad? You know how New England and Kansas City have had those kind of starts before in the past.
What? I think 2-2 last year.
I think so.
Yeah. I think they were 2-2, and then they won 14 games. No, was it 14 or 13? I think it was 14.
I think it was 14.
I think they went 14-3 because they lost that Commanders game on the road.
Yeah.
And then they won the rest. Yeah, because the Lions and the Eagles were just neck and neck the whole season. for best record. But yeah, I got them going 13-4. I am just going one better. The Eagles are going to be really good again. That defense is really young and talent everywhere on the board for the Eagles. Um, I mean, it's hard to say they regress because they just have so much talent. So,
Yeah,
but the one thing I will say is they did lose their offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore, and that might prove to be an issue later on. They still have Vic Fangio, but them losing Kellen Moore might be a bigger issue than people think because the Eagles a few years ago they got rid of both coordinators. They got new ones, and they started out 10-1, and then they just collapsed.
Yes.
They lost their last 5 of 6, and then they got outed in the wild card against Tampa Bay. That's what happens when Matt Patricia is your DC, and now he's on my favorite college football team. So, yay me. Yeah, I still think Philly's going to be fine. I think that's like an offense to where unless you royally screw up, you can't screw it up because of how much talent you have.
Just keep pushing the tush. That's all you really got to do in Philadelphia, and you'll be straight.
Pretty much. I mean, that's all you got to do. Push it all the way down.
Every single play. 4th and 9.
It's not stoppable. I mean, the Eagles, when they do it, it's not stoppable most of the time.
I don't think anyone else has really tried it for real like they'd have. Like, they've got the method down pat.
Perfected it. But they could have banned it, and they didn't. So teams obviously don't think about it too much, or they just want to stop it. So
I think they just want to stop it. I think they want to get to the point where they stop it. I think their success rate when they've done the tush push is like 96% or something absurd. It's not 100, but it's like 96. It's absurd. Moving on here to the second team, you alluded to it. It's Washington.
Yeah.
The McLaurin drama's finally over with. He's finally got his contract extension.
$33 million?
It's roughly, yeah. I think it's 30. I think you're right. I think it's 32. I think it's 3-year, $96 million. Yeah. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And Terry McLaurin's good, but
he's worth it. I think he's worth it.
DK Metcalf got 33, so
I think McLaurin's been worth it though. You got to remember the quarterback situations this kid has had since he's been in Washington, or as the Midwesterners call it, Washington. But we finally have that answer. It's solidified there, McLaurin. No more drama there. But Washington has had a drama-filled offseason, which I'm not a big fan of, to be honest with you. A lot of drama sometimes can mean next season not as good as some people think. On paper, though, I mean, they have so many pieces on defense. They brought in Von Miller. They brought in Deebo Samuel on the offensive side and Laramie Tunsil. I know it's Deebo. It's Deebo. It's Deebo.
Oh, Deebo.
It's Deebo. Yeah. You never know what you get with Deebo. If you get last year Deebo, it's not going to be that much of a help. No. But I don't know. Could this be a boom or bust year for Washington? I think a lot of people are very, very high on Washington just because of the performance last year going to the NFC Championship.
More slumps happen with quarterbacks.
They do.
Time and time again.
The question is, I'm buying into the sophomore slump for Daniels. How bad will it get is my question. I see a world where this team could fall completely flat on their face and go 6-11. That's my worst case scenario, where it's just injury, bug hits. Deebo Samuel is just, completely fallen off the map. The McLaurin drama overhanging this team in the offseason, and Daniels just doesn't perform like he did last year. I expect some kind of fall off here. My best case scenario is they somehow still are good enough to win the NFC East in like 13-4. But my prediction is 10-7.
Yep.
I think wild card is easily still in the question. I think they could still go on a run in the postseason. It just depends. I feel like the fall off is still going to be there.
My biggest question mark is their defense, to be completely honest with you. And now their offense has some pieces, but they're not like Deebo and Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's a great wide receiver. Deebo is a massive question mark.
Yes.
Their tight end is Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is 1,000 years old. The dude can move 2 miles an hour down the field. Their offensive line did get better with the addition of Laramie Tunsil. Give them that. Their running game is going to be a question mark.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt for all you fantasy owners,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly. It's going to be a massive question mark. But their defense, like, I don't look at this defense and I'm not really impressed. There's not like a star. I mean, their defensive line is solid,
If this was 2015,
but
you
like
would
they're
say
not.
absolutely.
Yeah, Von Miller, absolutely. Von Miller was a beast with the Broncos.
Von Miller, but then they still have Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, but he's like 35.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
36.
Yeah,
Like
all their
they're all
best.
super old. Like they don't have a star on their defense. They don't, and while their
Deron
defense has some
Payne.
pieces that were, big names like 5 years ago. I mean, Bobby Wagner's still solid. I mean,
Yeah.
he was solid with them last year. Von Miller, not bad. I mean, age is showing, and age is going to show for both these guys.
Yes.
And their secondary isn't amazing, but at the same time, it's Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, does a lot with a little. But this defense doesn't impress me at all. And this
No.
Washington team just seems like it's Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and then things. Now, their D-line is good, but other than that, they have a lot of question marks. And I'm still
Yes.
surprised, and I'm still pissed off they came into Detroit and did what they did. But that's here or there. I think they go 10-7 as well. I think that they'll win. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be good. He
Yeah.
might regress a little bit, but I still think he's going to be pretty good. And you got 4 built-in wins there playing Dallas and New York. So Washington will be solid again. I don't think they'll make I doubt they make the NFC title game again because they need more pieces. They need
Yes.
more. This offseason, I expected a lot more. And while they did get somewhat better, they added Laramie Tunsil. That's a big move. Laramie Tunsil is a great left tackle.
Yes.
They did add Debo. If you got Debo 4 years ago, this would be a massive move. But Debo now, who knows? He's getting older, and it showed with San Francisco last year. In their defense, I've talked about it. It doesn't impress me at all. So I got them going 10-7 now. So.
Number 3 for me. I'm going bold a little bit. I think a lot more people would have this reversed. But I am buying in to the New York Giants and that defensive line. I have the Giants ahead of the Dallas Cowboys this season. I think this defensive front is going to be a top 5 unit in the NFL. I think they're going to be top 5 in sacks by the end of the season. You have Abdul Carter, you have Kayvon Thibodeau, you have Dexter Lawrence. People are forgetting about our Toledo boy, Darius Alexander. They already still have more pieces on the defensive line. I mean, they rotate 5, 6, 7 guys in already as it is on the defensive front. All guys who can get 7+ sacks a season if they really, really played to their full potential. And I'm high on Tyrone Tracy Jr., their running back. He came out last year, 1,000-yard rusher. I expect him to eclipse that more this year. And granted, I know their quarterback situations, quarterback roulette, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, I think by the end of the season, will be their starting quarterback. I think Russell Wilson will start the year, and I think they're going to be better than expected. I know their wide receiver room it's awful for the most part, outside of Darius Slayton. But, Malik Neighbors. Duh, I forget about Malik Neighbors sometimes. It's all right. Ask a neighbor how they're doing. I like New York. And I think Brian Daboll's a much better coach than he's been given credit. I trust the Giants more than Dallas right now. I do. It's weird to say because they haven't really proven it. But I'm higher on this team. Worst case scenario is still pretty bad. It's like 5-12, 4-13. Or worse. It could realistically be worse. It's the Giants. But I think best case is a winning season. I'm going to predict they go 8-9. I think they're going to get a couple wins against some teams that you just would not expect. Because I expect this defensive front to really, really be something. Shout out Brian Burns.
Yeah. I think New York's going to be bad this year because Russell Wilson is also turning 1,000. And while he did have a solid year with Pittsburgh last year, the Giants don't give me any faith in development. And while Brian Daboll has been decent, he's on the hot seat. and he's on the hot seat, and it's pretty hot.
It's
Same with
scorching, to
Joe
be
Shane.
honest.
Joe
Yeah.
Shane is also on the hot seat. And when a front office and a coach are on the hot seat, I don't get a lot of confidence in the team, to be quite honest.
It's fair.
I don't think the Giants will be horrific. I don't. Because I think you're right. That defensive line will be very good. Abdul Carter has to prove it. That's going to be their question mark. But if he can get 10 sacks his rookie year, shoot. I mean, you're talking about a defensive line. While very young, is arguably the best in the NFL. I think it can be with how much talent they have. Dexter Lawrence is one of the best interior guys in the league. Kayvon Thibodeau is overrated.
But Brian Burns,
he's been solid.
Brian
Burns. And Brian Burns. My biggest question mark is I think you have too many guys.
You do have too many
I
guys.
think you have way too many defensive line guys. And while that could be good because you can rotate them in, it's a lot of mouths to feed on that defensive line.
That's fair.
It's going to be interesting, but that's also a pretty good problem to have when you have a ton of talent at one position. After that, they have absolutely nothing. They have absolutely nothing in that secondary. They have absolutely nothing in that linebacking core. They have absolutely nothing on the offensive side of the ball outside of Malik Neighbors. That offensive line is not great.
Shout out Evan Neal.
Yeah, massive bust. But I think they go. I'll pick them at 6-11. I'll pick the Giants at 6-11. I think Dallas finishes 7-10. I think Dallas will finish third. I don't think Dallas will be good, but I think they'll be better because Dallas has star players. Dallas has CeeDee Lamb. Dallas has, they have right now Micah Parsons. We'll see if that falls through. Dak Prescott, revenge tour or whatever he wants to say. And the Cowboys, but the Cowboys don't have a strong unit of the ball like New York. But I'll trust Dallas a little more than New York. I mean, it really doesn't matter. This is 3rd and 4th. Who cares? I think the Dallas will be like maybe 1 win better. I'll give them 7. And then New York, I'll pick to go 6-11.
Thing is with Dallas for me is.
But if Micah gets traded, New York will finish third.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Micah Parsons situation. It's been an absolute crap show.
I still don't think he gets traded.
Show.
All this Green Bay stuff.
I agree. I don't think he ends up getting traded either. I think they'll figure it out. I think he'll pay him more than Myles Garrett just because he'll give in. But I don't trust Schottenheimer. Like Schottenheimer that higher, I feel like they could have gotten anyone better. And it's no shade on Schottenheimer. Maybe he proves me wrong. Maybe he is going to end up being a good head coach. It just seems like a head coach that Jerry Jones would like to have because it'll just make Jerry Jones be the boss of everything. You know what I mean?
That's how he's with everything.
So it's a Jerry Jones hire. It is Jason Garrett. That's who it is, basically. I mean, people are forgetting Zach Martin retired this offseason too, and they drafted Tyler Booker, the guard out of Alabama. He's stepping into that role, taking his spot. This offensive line, they've lost a couple other pieces. Let's see how good this offensive line really is for Dallas this season, and they keep getting older outside of everybody else. I mean, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, those guys, can they keep on growing that young unit for them? The running game is a massive question mark. I mean, we talked about Jadon Blue hopefully coming running back 1 for the future for him there, but I mean, it's running back. Stumbled there. Running back by committee. Yeah. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jadon Blue. Exactly.
That's bad.
My worst case scenario for the Cowboys is 5-12. Because Dak Prescott, I will admit, he'll get you fantasy points. He'll win you fantasy games just because of his garbage time points that he always gets. But how many wins will that really show up in the win-loss column for Dallas this season? 5-12. Best case scenario is 10-7, just because I think the star power alone can get them good enough to possibly fight for a wild card spot. It's Dallas. They always find a way every couple of years to make the playoffs.
Yep.
But I'm predicting them to go 7-10. So I think we have the same record. I just have the Giants just a little more elevated.
Yeah.
I'm high on the Giants, man. I'm high on the defensive front for New York. I think it could really aid them
Nobody's
this
buying into
season.
Russell Wilson at age 40.
I'm not buying into Russell Wilson at age 40. I'm buying into the fact that they have competent quarterback play in a weird way because it's Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Granted, they're bad is maybe the worst thing you could possibly see, but they're good is very, very, very good.
You never know what you're going to get. Something that broke my heart the other day, speaking of Dallas running backs, Ezekiel Elliott retired. And I looked at that and I'm like, damn, I'm old.
Very, very old.
That's crazy. I remember when he got drafted. I was so happy for him, and then I saw he went to Dallas.
This is the unction.
Dude, that broke my heart. I love Zeke. But anyway, all right, next division.
Let's go. NFC North, the greatest division that football has ever seen.
Probably from top to bottom. I mean, all 4 teams you can make a case to win the two.
I'm going to throw this out there for you.
3 teams, maybe 4.
I just want you to know, regardless, I have every single team. I'm predicting every single one to finish with a winning record. I think every single one finished with a winning record, or close. Some of them could not.
Yeah.
But I'm that high on all of these. I'm predicting it.
For it. It's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of question marks, and every team in this division is a question mark. That if they pull through, it can be great. But if it turns out to be a flaw, they're screwed. So
every single team, I think, has a legit chance on paper to win it.
Yes.
It's just
Bears, I'm not going to give you the Bears, but I'll give you the other 3.
Who's number 1, though? Let's start with you. Who's number 1?
Let's see. I can see my flag, and I got a new poster of this team when I went to Traverse City.
The Green Bay Packers? I know you're a Green Bay guy.
Yeah, with Jordan Love and his thumb injury, and Jordan Love's, great availability that he's had. He had a great year last year.
Malik Willis doesn't move the needle just in case?
Dude, I remember when I wanted Malik Willis in the first round.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was something.
Thank God they didn't take him, and they took Hutch and J-Mo. That would have been so bad. Oh my gosh.
That's why we're not general managers, folks.
2. They wanted him at pick 2, and I was like, no, he's not that good. But
that's why we're not general managers, folks.
Yeah. It's the Lions. I mean, here's the thing. Like, people can say the question marks about the coordinators. That is fair. That is totally fair that the coordinators are a question mark and that you don't know what you're going to get. It's also totally fair that their road schedule, I mean, you might as well just be, rolling up to, the 85 Bears. You might as well just be rolling up to the 2007 Patriots. I mean, it's unbelievably difficult. I will say their home schedule is fairly easy because all the good teams they play are on the road, all the bad teams they play are at home, but you also have the North teams. If they can legitimately go 5-4 on the road, that's a massive win. And then just win like all but one of your home games, you get 12-5. And that's what I'm going to pick the Lions to be is 12-5. They're not winning 15 games again. That's not happening. But the thing is people got to realize the Lions have a top 5 roster in the league, and all of their players are young. All of their really good players are on their rookie contracts. Now, some of them are about to expire, and some of them are going to get extensions, but they're second in cap space. The Lions have a ton of cap space because of all the young talent they have. The biggest question mark is going to be the coordinators. Will Kelvin Shepard take the reins of Aaron Glenn and do it better, do it worse? Will John Morton do better than Ben Johnson? Probably not. But will he keep the flow going of the offense that's been working for 3 years when Ben Johnson was the OC? It's a valid question, but this team has won the North 2 straight years. Dan Campbell's built a winning culture in Detroit. I think they win 12 games. I think it's very fair to say that the Lions might regress, but for people that are saying they're not going to make the playoffs are mentally ill. They have no knowledge of football whatsoever, because even if the coordinators aren't amazing, this team has so much talent to where it can take over. The Philadelphia Eagles had 2 horrific coordinators a few years ago. They went 11-6. I mean, Jeffrey Lurie was ready to fire them mid-season, and after all that, they did get out in the wild card round. But for all these analysts saying the Lions are going to go 7-10, or there was one guy on ESPN. How do some of these people on ESPN have jobs? I mean, seriously,
It's a good
they
question.
are so stupid. The fact that Monica McNutt didn't know who Barry Sanders is. She
said Shedeur Sanders
because she thought it was Shedeur.
Yeah.
How stupid can you be? But it's
gotta love ESPN.
20 Sanders. It's a blue jersey. That's besides the point.
It's definitely not brown and orange.
They're not going to be bad. This team has way too much talent to be bad. They will regress. They're not winning 15 games. They will probably. If I had to pick, I think they go 12-5, 11-6, 10-7 is also feasible. Maybe 9-8, but I don't think they finish under 500 like some people are thinking. I think that's way too dramatic.
I agree with you, sir. I have the Lions number 1 for me too. And I agree. I have my worst case scenario for the Lions at 9-8, and my best case all the way up to 14-3 because of the talent that this roster does have. My prediction, I also have 12-5. That's my prediction for the Lions this season. Can the defense finally be healthy? I think that's the biggest question for me.
I mean, please. I'm tired. I saw Quan Alexander starting at linebacker for my team. I mean,
ain't nothing wrong with Quan Alexander if it was
there's a lot wrong with Quan Alexander. I'm sorry.
It was 2021.
I saw, Kindle Vildor, who keeps me up at night, making plays in the playoff. Well, making plays. He was getting burnt like toast. That dude is one of the worst football players I've ever seen in my life. But they were starting IKEA workers in the playoffs. It's what happens when you have 14, 15 players on the IR. You lose your best defensive player, arguably one of your best players on your team, and Aiden Hutchinson. And he's going to be healthy and back. Aleem McNeil, who's hurt, he'll be back by midseason. They drafted Tyleik Williams. They still have DJ Reader. They have the best safety duo in the league in Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. Their corner duo, it's going to be Terry Arnold has to step up, and DJ Reed is a solid, corner. And their linebackers, Alex Anzalone and Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes. I mean, you have depth, but can just please stay healthy. I'm tired of this team being hurt to hell. It's so annoying. It was like that in the playoffs 2 years ago when we went to San Francisco, and it was like that especially last year. Stay healthy. Stop conditioning so damn hard. Relax.
I think my biggest question outside of the defense is, can JMO finally really break out offensively? Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's a kind of make or break year for Jameson Williams offensively.
Yeah, I wouldn't re-sign him right now. I mean, he had 1,000 receiving yards last year, which is decent. But with the hype around Isaac Tesla, and they literally traded their wide receiver 3 away today because of this rookie wide receiver. He's turned a lot of heads, and he looked great in the preseason. But JMO has to step up. He has to be that deep threat. And while he has made plays, and he was a lot better last year, he needs to take that year 3 step. Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown are like this. I mean, they are tight-knit and connected. He has to have that somewhat same relationship with Jameson Williams. And JMO has to get open. JMO has to stop gambling. JMO has to stop doing drugs and getting suspended in season. So he looks like he's been, by the coaching staff's perspective, Dan Campbell said he's gotten a lot better this offseason. John Morton has said he's going to try to implement him in the pass game a heck of a lot more than he was last year with deep threats. We'll see how it goes. I think JMO will have a great year. I do think he breaks out. 1,200 receiving yards. But he has to break out this year, or they're probably not going to re-sign him. I wouldn't right now, because you can draft the guy who gets 1,000 receiving yards if you use him enough. It's just that he can become that star that Amon-Ra did. He has to do what Amon-Ra did and just get better every single year.
Yes.
And he has. Since he's gotten better every year, but it hasn't been a lot better. And I think he has to take that next step.
Number 2 for the NFC North, the hardest division to possibly predict who actually finishes where.
It is, man. This division's tough. It really is.
Number 2, I have Green Bay.
I
And
agree.
I have Green Bay because of they always are there. They're like your nagging stepsister
So annoying, dude.
who, when you go out to party, is like, "Hey, can I go with you?" And it's like, "Fine, you can come along with me." That's Green Bay. They are always there regardless.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. And this wide receiver room, they finally decided to draft one in the first round. And Matthew Golden, we're both pretty high on Matthew Golden. We'll just have to see how it translates. They have other pieces still. Romeo Dobbs offensively. I mean, Josh Jacobs in the running game is top 10 in the league right now still.
Yeah.
I think my biggest question mark...
Jaden Reed was
yeah.
one of the best last year in the first few weeks and then fell off. So
The biggest question mark to me is the secondary. If Keyshawn Nixon can step into that cornerback 1 role, now that Jair Alexander is gone, and Nate Hobbs, if both of those guys can have breakout years.
Yeah.
That's the biggest question mark for me. And then
Linebacker, too.
Lucas Van Ness, it's a make-or-break year for him. He hasn't really panned out that much, being the 13th overall pick or 14th overall pick in that draft class. I wouldn't be shocked after this season if he might be cut the way he's played. So, but for me, I think Green Bay, I have faith in Love. I love faith. Give me Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I think Jordan Love is going to be just fine. I think that Green Bay will be just fine. I think they have, for me, out of any of the teams in the NFC North, I think they have like the smallest window of like worst case, best case scenario. It's from 7-10 to 10-7 for me.
They're never going to be bad, dude. They're never, ever going to be bad.
And I'm predicting them to go 10-7. I think Green Bay will be just fine. I think that they will be close to a wild card spot. Actually, they'll be a wild card team. It'll be hard to see how far they can really go in the postseason, though. I don't necessarily have faith in like massive postseason run, but it's Green Bay. They're always there.
They're never bad, and they're never going to be bad because life's not fair. The year they started out 3-6. They finished 9-8 and made it to the divisional round. It's not fair, but that's besides the point. I do agree. I think they go 10-7. I think Green Bay is going to be fine. I know some Packers fans are worried about Jordan Love's availability with his thumb. He got hurt last year with his leg injury. I think Love's going to be fine. I think Love's a very good quarterback. I think he's proven a lot. While he wasn't good last year, I think he's going to be better this year because he should be healthy. Now, he does have a lingering thumb injury, but he's going to be ready for week 1 against the Lions, which will be a fantastic game, by the way. And I think that over time, Jordan Love will get better. And I think you can make an argument for him to be a top 10 quarterback by the end of this year if he plays his cards right. He has a running back. He has weapons. And while he doesn't have a wide receiver 1, he has a bunch of wide receiver 2s.
A bunch.
To be completely honest. Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs. Now with Matthew Golden. Maybe Matthew Golden can take that step. Tucker Kraft at the tight end, their offensive line is pretty good. Their defense, secondaries is an issue. Linebacker is somewhat of an issue, but their D-line is very good with Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary has been a stud there. I will say this, though. If they do get Micah Parsons, I'm putting them at 12-5. I'll put them tied with the Lions because Micah Parsons is worth 2 wins. I don't think it happens, but if it does, I will be pissed off because it's always the Packers, and I'll give them 2 more wins. And that'll just the winner will just go to the tiebreaker of the North. But yeah, I think the Packers will be fine. I mean, I think they will always be fine because nothing else matters. Sports suck. Football is overrated. And Green Bay is always just going to be good, no matter what.
It doesn't matter.
Most people out there at quarterback, they will throw for 3,500 yards.
They can throw a fan out there.
And 12 interceptions.
They can throw a fan out there because, they're already their owner anyway.
Yeah, he'll get like 1,000 receiving yards. It doesn't matter. He could be 45. Yeah. He could be a drunk Wisconsinite. He will get 1,000 receiving yards.
Lives off pure cheese curds and
beer.
Beautiful. I wonder what their beer choice up there in Wisconsin is. They should let us know down in the comments below.
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. Oh yeah, I think you're right. It's got to be Miller Lite, right?
Miller Lite. I mean, I don't think they care. I think they'll just drink beer, but I would assume Miller Lite because
fair.
it's from Milwaukee.
That's for Wisconsinites down below. Comment your favorite beer. Let us know. Don't drink unless you're over the age of 21, by the way. Moving on, number 3. I think we're gonna sweep this together. I think we both agree. I have Minnesota.
Yep.
At number 3. I think their roster, outside of quarterback, could put them at number 2. This defense is going to be nasty.
Yes, it is.
Their roster's fairly intact. They kept Byron Murphy in free agency. He's coming back for their secondary. They didn't lose a lot at all. Aaron Jones is going to be running back 1 there.
That might be their biggest question mark is the running game.
I still think Aaron Jones is going to be just fine, though. I know he's
Aaron Jones will be fine. They do have Jordan Mason. I think that might be their biggest question mark. But
could be. The biggest question mark really is quarterback. Can J.J. McCarthy continue what Sam Darnold did last year? I think that's the biggest question. And the reason why I'm kind of lowballing Minnesota a little bit. Kevin O'Connell's one of the greatest coaches in the league right now.
He's
absurd.
He's a top 3 head coach. He does not get talked about enough, man. And I know, like, Andy Reid and,
he just got Coach of the Year, though.
You can't throw Dan Campbell up there. Andy Reid, Dan Campbell. Nick Sirianni. Kevin O'Connell is unbelievable with the quarterback position. He will make everything out of nothing. He made Sam Darnold. He got Sam Darnold a $100 million contract.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? I think that the Vikings have a top 5 roster in the NFL. I think the Lions and the Vikings are up there. The Vikings defense is phenomenal, and the Vikings offense is phenomenal outside quarterback, which is a massive question mark.
Yes.
Running back too, but Aaron Jones proved to be pretty solid last year. I think that the Vikings are going to be just fine. Now, they're not winning 14 games. I don't think they win anything close to that. I think they win 9. I think they'll go 9-8. I think that they'll be around 500 because they won so many one-score games last year. You're not doing that 2 years in a row.
You're not.
More.
You're not.
I think they're the most forgotten about 14-win team.
It's because
forget they went 14-3.
Because of who they
only lost
their
were
schedule.
to the Rams twice, once in the playoffs, into the Lions twice, and they were fighting for the 1 seed in Week 18 in Detroit, and the Lions, just pummeled them.
I think it's because of their schedule outside of everything else and the one-score games. It was like they've won so many close games. It's like, how good are they really? Because when they played the Rams and when they played the Lions, it was different. A win is a win. It is. In the NFL, a win is a win.
Yeah.
For me, my prediction, I think worst case scenario could bottom out a little bit, though, because of J.J. McCarthy. If he does not play well, if, defense gets injured, if the running game is not working, I could see them going as bad as 5-12 and just completely bottoming out. We've seen it with Minnesota before, with a roster pretty good. So that wouldn't be out of the question for me. Best case scenario, fighting with the Lions yet again at 11-6, I'd say for my best case scenario, but I also have them going 9-8. I do think that there's a lot of questions with J.J. McCarthy. He had his injury last year, didn't play at all. Will he come in and just continue what Sam Darnold did? And I think if he can do at least 60% of that, I think Minnesota will be fine.
Yep.
If he can match it, sky's the limit for Minnesota.
I have full faith in Kevin O'Connell. I really do. He could throw anybody out there at quarterback and make it work. That offense also has, one of the best supporting casts in the league with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and then the defense, they have Brian Flores again. He's coming back. That defense really didn't lose a whole lot. Byron Murphy, can he continue what he did last year? That defensive line is going to be nasty again. Andrew Van Ginkel was phenomenal last year. I have full faith in the Vikings to be solid. I don't think that they'll be great because I think that there will be rookie – because we'll call J.J. McCarthy a rookie.
Yeah.
I think there will be rookie growing pains because every rookie goes through it. J.J. McCarthy has to prove a lot. But I think that the Vikings are going to be fine. I really do because they just have such a good roster that I think that you could throw anybody out there in quarterback and they can win some games with them.
Number 4, the Chicago Bears. It's so hard for me to predict that, and I know for you're not buying into nothing with that right now.
No.
For me with Chicago, it's not that I'm not buying into it.
Because it's the same thing I've heard the last 5 years. with
It's
the Bears
fair.
every single year. This is the year the Bears will be really good. So,
I will say this. I'm going to go out here and throw this out here. I think this season, I think Caleb Williams eclipses 4,000 yards passing, and they're finally going to have that in their repertoire. In Chicago, they can finally brag they got a quarterback to get to 4,000 passing yards. That's going to happen. That's what I'll say.
probably. Ben Johnson will make it happen.
Who's going to step up offensively for him? I don't know if Roma Dunze is going to be the wide receiver too. I think Luther Burden's going to play into a wide receiver two role there.
I think will be good. I think DJ Moore is going to have a great year.
Yes.
I still think DJ Moore is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league because his quarterback play, like the quarterbacks he's had, is kind of nuts.
Yes.
You know, when he was in Carolina, he just had a revolving door of bridge guys that turned out to get big contracts like Baker and Sam Darnold.
Forgot about the late, great, amazing PJ Walker. Shout out getting that Week 6 win against San Francisco.
Yeah. You know, and then Caleb Williams last year. I think Caleb Williams, that might have been his best quarterback that he had that to deal with was Caleb Williams' rookie year. And it wasn't bad. It was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
They just had a lot of stuff going on internally with the coaching staff. The Bears, to me, it's the fact that they do have talent. They have talent on the offense. It's a lot of unproven talent. They did bolster their offensive line immensely. Their offensive line will be good. Their defense, to me, is a question mark, though. They weren't great last year, and they didn't get a ton to improve their defense. They did get Grady Jarrett.
Yes.
But Grady Jarrett got released for a reason. He just wasn't performing anymore in Atlanta, and we'll see if he can maybe rejuvenate his career in Chicago.
I don't think he had a defensive line, a specific player like Montez Sweat.
No.
Opposite of him down in Atlanta.
And that's fair. Yeah. Matthew Judon, but that's besides the point.
Matthew Judon is also Grady Jarrett. So.
Anyway, I think the Bears will go 8-9. I think they'll be around 500. I think they will be better this year. I think their offense will be solid. I think Caleb Williams will get over 4,000 passing yards because Ben Johnson will make it happen. But I am sick and tired of people saying they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. The Bears are all this and the Bears are all that. You guys are banking on Ben Johnson, who gets too cute too often and who doesn't do the simple things sometimes. To make it all the way to the Super Bowl. For them to make the playoffs, fine. Maybe they do. Maybe they sneak in as the 7th seed. I think that the Lions are better. I think that the Packers are better. And the Vikings might be that one where it's I really don't know. We'll learn a lot about that week 1. I do think Chicago wins that game week 1 in Chicago against the Vikings. But this is a massive, massive, massive year for the Bears because they have so much hype. They have so much hype. And if it does not deliver, they're going to be looking internally. They're going to say what went wrong, and they're going to look at Ben Johnson. And this is the most hyped head coach since Kyle Shanahan on offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
When he went to San Francisco from Atlanta. Ben Johnson's a very, 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 very good offensive coordinator. That does not mean he's going to be a good head coach. And that's another question mark that I have, and that might be the biggest question mark, is how does that translate to being a head coach when you got to handle everyone's business and not just the offense? So I think the Bears go 8-9. I think they'll be solid. They will be better than last year. They won't collapse like they did last year. And I think they're going to give some teams some fits. But they also have the hardest schedule in the NFL. They legitimately have the hardest schedule in the NFL. We'll see. The NFC North is going to be a gauntlet this year, no matter what. So,
yes.
Yay.
I have question marks about Chicago to me,
Chicago.
Will Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson mesh quickly? Or will it take some time when they get into the regular season? We saw some action in a preseason game against Buffalo, 1 or 2 drives, and it looked really good, but there were question marks in training camp that Caleb Williams wasn't necessarily getting things
also so much
right.
Drama. The stuff with him coming out about the Vikings earlier this year, there's some sort of drama going on in Chicago.
I think Chicago. I have them going 9-8. I think worst case scenario they could bottom out like a 5-12, 4-13, and it just all crashes in, and the hype train just gets too big for them.
Yeah.
Best
That's
case
another
scenario,
factor.
yeah,
Hype gets to you.
it does.
Especially if you haven't experienced it.
Shout out the 2019 Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. I mean, hype gets to you. It gets tough to deal with pressure.
Yes.
The Lions dealt with that, and then they exceeded the expectations. They didn't really get to them. But, the Bears, they have a ton of hype, and there's a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams. There's a lot of pressure on Ben Johnson. And there's a lot of pressure on Kevin Warren, their president, who used to be the big boy at the Big Ten. The Bears to me are the Bears to me are the biggest question mark in the NFL, the entire league.
Got some breaking news.
It's not but they could go 12-5, or they could go 5-12, because I think that if it all goes right, this Bears team is going to be really good. Like if Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams mesh perfectly, if the offense is clicking and Caleb starts getting a connection with Luther Burden, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore takes a step. The running game isn't amazing. DeAndre Swift isn't great, but he's feasible. And if their defense takes a step, this Bears team could be phenomenal.
Yes.
I just think it's way too many ifs. There's not too much proven stuff in Chicago. It's way too many. Well, it could be. It could be this. And I think that's going to be what's going to make or break the Bears season. For
sure. Just some breaking news real quick. Rashee Rice will be suspended the first 6 games of the season for Kansas City. So,
Crashy Rice?
Yeah, Crashy Rice.
Crashy Rice.
He's on my fantasy team for one of my other leagues.
Because of the incident?
It is, yeah.
Makes sense. He's a scumbag.
That's that, and the Patriots released Kendrick Bourne.
I draft him in my one fantasy league, or our fantasy that starts in a few days.
It's all right. Fantasy-wise, I have him in another league, but he's going to be like my wide receiver 4 on my bench anyway, which is okay. Moving on, let's quickly get through the NFC South here, because I think outside of the top team, it's kind of a bit of a question mark.
It's a boring division.
It's a boring division, but I think there's a lot of potential.
Do we both have Tampa Bay winning the division?
Tampa Bay's going to win the division here.
Yep.
Question marks for me outside of Vita Vea on the defensive line. I think there's a lot of question marks. Baker Mayfield. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield, okay? 41 touchdowns last season.
Baker Mayfield?
Oh, I will. Trust me, I will talk about Baker Mayfield, because this man, if only he would have done this in Cleveland, Ohio,
and if given him
one more chance, just one more chance. Jimmy Haslam, screw you, because Baker Mayfield, of course, leaving Cleveland is the greatest thing that can ever happen for most quarterbacks to ever play, and it's showed that for him. 41 touchdowns. He had a career year last year. I expect him to continue that. I am extraordinarily high on Tampa. Record-wise, it might not prove it, because I have them going 10-7, but that's all you'll need to do to really win this division.
I agree. I think 10-7, and I think a guy to watch out for offensive rookie of the year.
You already know.
Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah.
Because he's going to fit in that offense, and I think once one of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans get hurt by week 4, because they both get hurt all the time.
Yes.
He's going to step up, and I think him and Baker Mayfield are going to get a really good connection together. And he's just such a good route runner. He's such a good route runner. He's one of the most underrated Ohio State receivers in a while. I think Buckeye fans took him a little bit too much for granted, because he's so good and he's so reliant.
He's the Tyler Lockett of Ohio State, just possession catch.
Yep.
Just would always grab it. Always would grab the ball. He's got Larry Fitz hands. That's all I'll say.
He never drops the ball.
To me, my bold take for Tampa Bay, 2 of them this season. 1, Bucky Irving takes a massive leap. He's going to finish this season top 5 in rushing yards. I think Bucky Irving is a very, very talented running back. He came out of nowhere really onto the scene last season. I think Bucky Irving is going to completely break through this year. I expect him to finish top 5 in rushing yards. My next bold take, but we'll get to it when we eventually do our Super Bowl predictions next week.
You have Tampa going to the Super Bowl?
I don't have Tampa going to the Super Bowl.
Dude, if Baker Mayfield went to a Super Bowl, I think that'd just break Browns fans.
I have
think that
Tampa.
Would just be the end.
I have the Buccaneers making it to the NFC title game, upsetting some teams in the way. Because I believe in this roster. I believe in the quarterback. I believe in the coach. I believe in his wide receivers. I mean, having Mike Evans, who's still Mike Evans. Chris Godwin isn't necessarily Chris Godwin anymore, but he's still there and he's serviceable. Emeka Egbuka is going to step into that role. Tight end Cade Otton is here, and he can be a good tight end. He's a serviceable tight end.
Yeah.
I'm high on that offense. Defensive line, still a question mark. I feel like they always have good linebacker play, and their corners, I think, will step up and be better.
David is
still Levante David.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Tampa is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFC. I expect them to be better than last season. They're going to continue to just push on. I have full faith in the Buccaneers going to the NFC title game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got the Bucs at 10-7 as well. I think that's what they are every year, to be honest, though.
Mm-hmm.
But it wins the NFC South because the South is bad. Yeah, kind of everything you just said. Tampa Bay is reliable. Todd Bowles is about as reliable as they come. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get a winning record, and you're going to get a solid team. He's done a great job there in Tampa Bay, and Baker Mayfield has rejuvenated his career and then some in Tampa Bay. And good for him. He was always – I mean, he's such a good quarterback.
Baker, touchdown maker.
Yeah, he's really good. Number 2, I have Atlanta. I think Atlanta has the talent to be second in this division. I'll go 9-8. I think they'll get a winning record this year. I think Michael Penix will kind of step up and be decent. I mean, he's like 26 years old, but 25 or 26. But I think Atlanta will take a step forward. I don't think they win the division. I think Tampa's just better than them. But I'll pick them at 9-8 because I think that defense has some pieces, and I think their offense with Bijan and, is this the year Kyle Pitts gets it going? And
we'll see.
Drake London.
They have good wide receiver depth, too, behind them.
Darnell Mooney is another one that they have there.
Ray McLeod.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think Atlanta's going to be solid this year. I mean, I think Raheem Morris is going to get it going. I really do. I think Raheem Morris has got a good culture there. He just has to pull through with it. And the whole Kirk Cousins thing, who knows, man? Who knows? But Penix is your quarterback, so.
I don't need to say anything about Atlanta because you nailed it. It's the exact same thing for me. I have the exact same prediction. I think Michael Penix is going to be I think he's going to be a great quarterback. It might not be year 1 with him. Might not even be year 2, but I have full faith in Penix. They're going to be a much better offense. I mean, Bijan Robinson last year was all you had really offensively for this team. And it was not good with Kirk starting.
The thing about Atlanta is, I think any team would kill to have their core of offensive pieces. Bijan is a top 5 running back. Drake London is reliable. And Kyle Pitts, I mean, he's got to have something. I mean, he was drafted number 4 in the draft. He's got to have something.
Yes.
They have young pieces. It's just they have to develop them. They've developed Bijan. I'd say they developed Bijan, and Drake London has been good. I think he can be better, though. Kyle Pitts is just another. If Kyle Pitts can eclipse, if he can get somewhere close to where he was at Florida, or if he can kind of get going and have a much better year this year, Atlanta will give Tampa Bay fits.
For sure.
But I still think Tampa Bay wins the division.
Yeah, I think on paper you see Atlanta's roster, and on paper you're like, is that not like a top 5 team in the NFL?
12 wins.
Defensively, there are a little bit of questions. They did draft James Pierce Jr. and I'm trying to remember the other one. It's not Mykal Williams. He went to San Francisco. Forget the other. Oh, Jalen Walker. They drafted Jalen Walker. They drafted both of those guys to be really their future at edge. Their secondary might be the best secondary unit in the NFL. It just might be.
Jesse Bates, still really good.
A.J. Terrell, maybe the most slept-on corner now simply because he's in Atlanta and how they've played recently. But he's one of the best corners in the league. I fully agree with you. Atlanta's number 2. And number 3, moving on to Carolina. I thought about Carolina being higher. The problem is I'm not a big fan of the wide receiver moves they've made here. They're going young. They just traded
Adam Thielen away.
They traded Adam Thielen away. And one of my notes I had written before, Hunter Renfrow resurgence. He's been cut.
Yeah, he's been cut.
And now I have somewhere else, LOL. on my notes.
Now the wide receiver core is
It's
Tetaroa,
Tetaroa.
McMillan, and Xavier Legat.
and then Jalen Coker.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of youth on that wide receiver room. It could be a good thing for them, but this was the worst offense. Actually, not worst offense. They were the worst defense last year.
Yeah.
They were also not. They were not good offensively either. But this defense was hurt. Their linebackers, I have question marks there. Their defensive backfield is going to be really good. I expect Bryce Young to take a step. And
he was good to end the year last year.
He was.
I mean, the Panthers won a few games. Panthers won a few games the last few weeks. I mean, that last game against the Falcons in Atlanta, Bryce Young went off. Like, he threw for over, 300 passing yards.
Yeah. I have them going 7-10 because of the fact that I still need to see this offense outside of Tetaroa McMillan, outside of even Xavier Legat wasn't all that great last year. People love him because of his personality and his accent and stuff like that, but his play needs to be better than it was.
He needs to be a lot better. I'll never forgive him for that dropped catch against the Eagles last year because he caused me pain for that. But I think Carolina will be not amazing, but they certainly won't be terrible.
Yeah,
I'll give them 8-9. I'll give them one more win. Why not? And then last, New Orleans 0-17. This team is going to be horrific. This team has no talent except Cam Jordan and Chris Olave.
They have Alvin Kamara still in the backfield.
Alvin Kamara is 30 years old, dude. I mean, Spencer Rattler.
He's not the answer,
dude. Oh, I legit 0-17. I am picking 0-17 because
you got to give him more love than that.
Why would I have any faith in this team?
You got to give him more love than that. They're going 4-13. All right, 4-13.
You have them with 4 wins
because of Cam Jordan and Alvin Kamara randomly scoring, or Cameron
Jordan's going to score a touchdown.
He's going to score a touchdown. He's going to get a scoop and score. He's going to save it.
36-37. Alvin Kamara will be hurt by week 3.
But week 2,
they have no O-line.
Week two, he's going to get it. Shout out Ryan Rumchek getting his retirement. Shout out the offensive line. I don't know. I'm just saying week 2 because before week 3, before he gets injured, but week 2 he'll get a game-winning touchdown. No. Regardless if it's like the 85 Bears or regardless if it's, the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead.
This team
it'll be all right.
sucks.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the Saints that much.
This is where Arch Manning is going.
Sorry, Saints fans. Just,
Arch Manning's going to be a Saint.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
He'll be the number.
It's destiny. It's destiny, right?
I mean, Spencer Rattler should be working at Home Depot. He needs to stop, but he's the starting quarterback for the Saints because Tyler Shuck couldn't win the job, which is kind of sad, and Jay Kaner couldn't win the job. I mean, that quarterback room is horrific. It is up there with the Browns from 2017 with Deshaun Kaiser.
Yeah, we can move on to the NFC West now. So moving on to the real division outside of the NFC North, I'm very high on this division. I'm going to speed run it just a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I've got the Rams at 1.
Oh.
I've got the Rams at 1.
Wow.
I'm extraordinarily high on the Rams. Granted, I know Matthew Stafford had a back injury all throughout training camp. He's healthy now. He's been practicing. Their starting left tackle, who they signed in free agency, or re-signed in free agency, Alaric Jackson, has also been dealing with blood clots throughout the summer, but he should be good to go week 1 for him. To me, this defense is elite. I think this is going to be a top 10 defense in the league this year. Will Devontae Adams step up and be wide receiver 2 behind Puka Nacua?
I think so.
Will Devontae have a resurgence? I think he will. I think Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams will get along just fine. I think Tutu Atwell is going to have a breakout season as wide receiver 3. I like Tutu Atwell a lot for this team. I do. I really like Tutu Atwell. And I wonder if Terrence Ferguson, the rookie out of Oregon, will have a little more of a role at tight end too and maybe be a breakout guy behind Tyler Higbee. I could see that happening because it's the Rams. They always have someone like that breakout. For me, my best
record do you have?
12-5. I am very high on the Rams.
Wow.
This is who I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing in the NFC title game.
What?
Yes. I am that high on the Rams.
The Eagles died. Did the Lions cease to exist?
We'll get to that and we'll break that down more next week. But
Jeez.
I am very, very high on this Rams team. I mean, they have Sean McVay.
In the divisional round every year. They lose in the wild card.
That's going to change this year. That's going to change this year.
Okay.
Give me the Rams all the way. No, I'm just kidding. We'll get there. But I'm very high on the Rams.
I have the Niners winning the division. This Niners team has a lot of talent.
That defense has changed so much.
Yeah, but they got Robert Saleh back there, and I just have faith in this team. And they have one of the easiest schedules in the league.
They have the easiest, actually.
They have like a super easy schedule. I mean, they're playing bums every week.
That defense has changed a lot, though. It's changed a lot.
We say that this is the Niners' year for regression. They did regress last year, but they also got.
Well, they also had they were very, very
Christian McCaffrey is healthy. Their wide receiver core is a little bit of a question mark. We'll see Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings. But Brock Purdy and this team, I have faith in them. I have faith in the Niners because I think that they're just never going to die. They're like the Packers. I think that last year was a fluke. I think last year was a hoax, and that the Niners will win 12 games this year. I think they go 12-5. I think that they're going to be a lot better. They play a lot of nobodies, a lot of bad teams.
To be fair, the NFC West in general has a pretty easy schedule compared to the rest of the league.
Kyle Shanahan, his seat isn't like hot, but it may the heat warmers may have turned on a little bit after last season. We'll see.
Yes.
I just have faith in San Francisco. I have faith in Kyle Shanahan. It's not the playoffs, it's not the Super Bowl. So I have faith in him. Robert Saleh back as the DC after getting fired by the Jets. He's going to make that defense good. I don't care what happens. He makes a lot with a little. Did that in New York. I have faith in this team. I'll give them 12-5.
Fun fact, they're not even my team number 2. They're team number 3 for me. I have San Francisco at 3rd. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think San Francisco, I think their defense, I know Robert Saleh is a great defensive coordinator. He's a very, very good defensive-minded coach. But they've lost a lot of talent that is gone. Will replacing it actually work?
They lost Huafanga and they lost Javarius Ward. So they did lose.
They lost a lot. Even on the defensive line outside of Nick Bosa. They have Bosa, Fred Warner. I trust those two. They're still going to be elite. Granted. Everyone else around them, we'll have to see. Wide receiver room, massive question mark. Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, and Brandon Ayuk's been injured. So, will Ricky Pearsall actually step into wide receiver 1? I think that could happen this season for him. And the health of Christian McCaffrey is a question mark for me. Brian Robinson Jr. and his usage, now that he's a 49er, not a Commander, how much will they utilize both of them to really maybe try and keep McCaffrey healthy? I think, honestly, Brian Robinson Jr. is going to have a bigger role in San Francisco than a lot of people think because of McCaffrey's injury history. I predict them to go 8-9. I have them 3rd because my number 2 team is the Arizona Cardinals. I'm very high on Arizona. I'm very high on this defense this season. It's much improved. The defensive line is completely switched. It's pretty much a whole new defensive front for the most part. Linebacker, still have questions at that position. It all depends on Kyler Murray.
Corner, still have question marks. Safety, outside of Buda Baker, still have question marks.
You still have Buda Baker. I don't question safeties as much. But I have faith that Kyler Murray can step up. As long as no Call of Duty comes out in the month of November, I think he'll be okay.
I think Black Ops... Hold on. I'm pretty sure...
Either way, Kyler Murray is still going to be much better this season. The philosophy, for some reason, I was not a fan of Jonathan Gannon.
Black Ops 7 comes out in November 14th.
Well, before November 14th, the Cardinals might be undefeated.
They'll be undefeated, and then they'll finish the year 10-7.
I have them going 9-8.
10-0, and then lose the last 7 games.
I have them going 9-8. I think that I think the Cardinals are going to fight for a playoff spot. They might just miss it. Just depends. They'll be one of those wild card teams at the very end that might miss out. But I'm very high on this Cardinals team and the changes they've made and the coaching staff changes. This offensive line will be one of the better ones in the NFL. Could be one of the better ones in the NFL. I like Arizona a lot, man. I really do. I think they take a step up. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. finally plays like we think he should.
You better.
And I think Kyler Murray actually realizes, I should maybe throw it to number 18. Maybe. Just maybe. So I have Arizona at 2nd, and then San Francisco at 3.
I have the Rams at 2, at 10-7. Stafford is 38, 39 years old. He has back issues. He's been having back issues. And I think that's going to play into the fact. Stafford is not healthy right now. And I think that is going to be, the big factor for the Rams. While I do think their defense is going to be good, their offense, I have faith in Puka Nacua coming after an injury. Devontae Adams, I do. I just think I don't think he'll have an amazing year, but I think he'll have a solid year. Their O-line is injury prone.
Yes.
And their quarterback's injury prone. That's my biggest issue with the Rams. Another thing is the Rams go 10-7 every year. Or the Rams are always like 10-7 or 11-6.
That defensive line's going to be very good, though.
They have a first place schedule this year, so they playing a lot of good teams. And I think with Stafford's health question marks, I think their defensive line is very good. Corners are okay. Linebackers are set. Jared Verse is unbelievable.
Braden Fisk is unbelievable, too. I think a lot of people fail to or forget, because Jared Verse won Rookie of the Year, that Braden Fisk had better stats than Jared Verse.
Yeah, and their safeties are solid. I just have more faith in the Niners. And I think that with their quarterback question, with Stafford not being healthy, I think that's a massive. I think that's a big reason why. If Stafford turns out to be healthy, and 4 or 5 weeks into the season, the Rams are cruising and he looks great, then maybe that'll change. But with the question marks he has, I can't pick them. But 10-7, they'll make the wild card. So are they really losing out? My third place team is Seattle. I think that the Seahawks, people are overlooking them because now Sam Darnold is their quarterback. Sam Darnold learned a lot in Minnesota, and he looked like a completely different quarterback. I think that translates over into Seattle. I think Mike McDonald is going to build great things there. I think their defense is going to be better. I really like Devin Witherspoon, their corner. Their offense has pieces. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to have a candidate to have a really good breakout year and be even better than he was last year. And I really like Kenneth Walker, who's now healthy. I think the Seahawks go 9-8. So,
yeah.
And then my last place team, Arizona. Arizona, I think, can be good this year. I have no faith in Kyler Murray whatsoever. I have absolutely no faith in Kyler Murray because I hear this shindig every single year of this is the year Kyler Murray gets it right. The Cardinals will be better. Kyler Murray's going to have that breakout year that he had his first few years, and he's going to play up to his contract. And now hearing about how there's a new Call of Duty coming out in November, no. But I think they win 8 games. I think that the NFC West is going to be a close division.
Oh, it will be a very close division.
I think they'll finish 8-9. So,
for me, at number 4, I have Seattle, and the thing is, I actually think Seattle's a pretty good team. I'm gonna put that out there. I think you're right. This is a very tight division. I think they're all pretty close to each other for the most part. The reason why I have Seattle at 4 is the fact of I don't trust their defensive front. It's very old outside of Byron Murphy II, their defensive tackle, and he was not good. He was one of the worst defensive tackles in the league last season statistically. And they thought helping out that defensive line for Leonard Williams, who's already 35, 36, was bringing in DeMarcus Lawrence. Granted, if this was 2018, 19, 2020, DeMarcus Lawrence, Seattle probably jumps up to 2nd in this division for me. It just can't. It can't. I don't trust their defensive line. I trust their coach. I trust the offense, and I think Darnold will be pretty solid. I also question the wide receiver depth outside of JSN for this team. Is there anyone else outside of Jackson Smith and Jigba to step up? You did lose DK. You lost Tyler Lockett. Who else behind JSN can step into those roles? That's my question. I think we're a year away from Seattle before I think they can really jump back up because of the talent that they have lost that I don't necessarily know they really fixed and brought in. So I have them going 7-10.
That's fair. That's the NFC breakdowns. Let's get to our picks for the week because college football is finally back. It's week 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got 10 picks for the week. There's some really good games. This is a great week 1. But we're going to start it out with tradition because we did it, obviously when we were at UT. And it's actually a decent game. It's not there's no way, Toledo, just gets obliterated.
Right.
Toledo at Kentucky. Kentucky's favored by 9.5.
It's a big spread.
It is a big spread. And Toledo went to Mississippi State and beat the brakes off of them last year.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, Mississippi State was horrific last year. They're still an SEC team. I really don't care. It's a MAC school beating an SEC team.
Right.
You could be 0-12. You're still in the SEC.
It just means more down there, right? That's
it's a big spread. Toledo always has these mid-tier Power 4 teams that they start out. Like they played Illinois a few years ago.
Yep.
Mississippi State. They
should have beat Illinois.
They should. They had Notre Dame years ago, and they should have beaten Notre Dame because DeQuan Finn should have kneeled instead of running into the end zone. I'm picking Toledo to win this game. I really don't care if I sound biased or anything. I think this was better than Kentucky. I don't have that much faith in Bob Stoops and the Wildcats. They didn't have a good year last year. They went 4-8. And Kentucky really hasn't been anything since they had Benny Snell, the running back.
It's fair.
And Toledo, they have talent. My biggest question is that running game. They absolutely need the running game to be better this year.
Yes.
They need someone to step up, whether that's Wallensack or somebody. They got to get the running game going. But the receiving core will be good. Tucker Gleason is a solid quarterback for as much, shit as we give him. And I think the defense is going to be underrated. I think the defense has the talent to be one of the best defenses in the MAC. That
secondary is going to be probably the best secondary in the group of 5.
Yes, I agree. And Toledo has been picked to be one of those teams to watch out for to make the playoffs at the 12th spot. I don't care. I'm picking Toledo because, it's fun. Why not?
It's fun, for sure.
It's fun. Why not?
For me, this one's actually a real tough one to pick because I like Kentucky in a certain aspect. I love that their quarterback, Zach Calzada, incarnate word transfer. He's bounced around, but he had an amazing season at the FCS level last year. He really started to find himself. He's got one more year here at Kentucky as their starting quarterback week 1. It's just so tough because spread-wise, I'm not a fan of the spread at all.
No.
I think it's a bad spread. Toledo, I have the question marks because I think their defensive line week 1 could be a problem. I think that's their biggest weakness outside of the running game. It's a pretty much brand new starting defensive line. You don't have a Darius Alexander there anymore. It's a big question mark. And going up against an SEC offensive line could be a challenge. I'm not saying Kentucky's is the greatest. It's Kentucky. I have question marks. I'm cautiously optimistic for Toledo. Yes, it's a 12:45 kickoff, actually.
Next week I'll put the times down.
It's 12:45 kickoff.
Oh.
It's a random time, yeah.
It's weird.
I hate saying this. I'm going Kentucky. I think Kentucky wins the game.
Do they cover the 9.5?
They don't cover the spread. I think
so. You're taking Toledo plus 9.5.
I'm taking Toledo plus 9.5, okay. But give me Kentucky to win the game. It'll be a close game regardless. Okay. I think Kentucky edges them out simply because of the offensive line play, and maybe Toledo just has a couple mishaps here and there.
All right.
So give me Kentucky to upset Toledo. It's an upset. It feels like an upset.
Last year, what they did at Mississippi State, I couldn't believe that.
And the fact that we beat Pitt as well. I'll
Yeah,
tell you this.
well,
I've seen an interview with Bob Stoops in his open presser. He's taking this game very, very seriously.
he should. This is not an easy game.
I've never seen any
Toledo
coach.
always plays teams like this tough.
Yes.
They always play Power 4 teams tough.
I've never seen a coach in a presser talk about Toledo like they have with Bob Stoops. This dude was like...
Because Kentucky's not going to be great this year, and Toledo is one of the top echelon of a group of 5 teams to where you have to take them seriously.
Yes.
This is like Tulane coming in to Kroger Field, or Boise State's better, but like a Boise State-esque team.
Yes.
These top group of 5 teams coming into your stadium. I mean, you better take it seriously.
Yes.
The next game, Nebraska's -6.5 at Cincinnati. Bearcats had a little bit of a rough year last year.
This game is at Arrowhead Stadium, by the way. It is in Kansas City.
Do I buy into the Nebraska hype with Dylan Raiola? I do.
Yes.
I don't think they'll be great this year, but I think they can go. I think that they're gonna make a bowl game. I think they're gonna go 7-5, 8-4. So good, not great. Raiola's going to take a step. I just have so much faith in Matt Rule to build a program, and I think he's going to get Nebraska right. And Cincinnati did not have a good year last year. They didn't really recruit well in the offseason.
They will be a better team this year. Their defensive line is going to be pretty good. In fact, I think Cincinnati is going to be like 6-6. I think they'll make a bowl game this year.
But I'm going to take Nebraska, and I'm going to take them to cover the spread of 6.5.
I agree Nebraska is going to win this game. I think they will cover the spread. I think Nebraska's schedule is a fairly favorable schedule. I think they have the potential to be like the Indiana last year for the Big Ten.
They gamed against Michigan at home.
They do. And if they win that game...
If they win that game, I'd watch out for the Cornhuskers.
Watch out for the Huskers. They might be back. Go Big Red. Shout out Iowa fans.
Yeah. Boise State, 25th ranked Boise State, favored by 5 at the University of South Florida Bulls at Raymond James Stadium. Boise State lost Ashton Genty, and I did pick them in my playoff bracket. So I'm going to pick them here. But that -5 looks so weird. And
it's a bad spread.
It's a bad spread. USF wasn't – I don't think they were good last year. But it's at University of South. I'm going to pick Boise State. I was thinking about USF, but that spread is really odd. When I saw that only -5, it kind of took me off guard. But I'm still going to pick Boise.
USF to me this year is going to be much, much, much better. And in fact, I think USF is one of those dark horse group of 5 teams, like Toledo, to be a potential number 12 in the playoff. I don't think they'll be that good. I'm high on their quarterback in Byron Brown. He didn't have a lot of play time last year. I believe he was a transfer quarterback, if I can remember correctly. I think he was there last season, but I believe he transferred in from somewhere else. Or no, he's been at South Florida his whole career. I lied. But he's got a lot of potential. Boise State, they're losing their best player. They still have Maddox Madsen going to be their quarterback. Wide receiver room, it's going to be okay, but you're traveling across the country. You're going from Boise, Idaho to Tampa, Florida. South Florida is a very underrated football program. They haven't been great recently. I'm taking the Bulls outright. Give me South Florida to upset Boise State week 1 here. I just don't think Boise State's the same team this year. Granted, they have the talent still, but I don't expect them to be like 11-1 and fighting for a playoff spot and barely losing to Oregon. I just don't see that kind of team. Boise State's still good. They're still one of the best, if not the best group of 5 team on paper. I think USF beats them week 1 and gives them a bit of a reality check.
Next game, Auburn favored by 2.5, headed to Waco to play the Baylor Bears.
Underrated
Auburn,
game.
Yeah, it's
Friday night.
I'm gonna pick Auburn. I think Auburn's gonna be better this year. I like the transfers that they got, and I think that they're gonna take a step forward. I think that Auburn, they were 5-7 last year. I think.
Yes.
5-7,
Yes, they were 5-7.
Yeah. I think they make a bowl game. I'll pick them to go 7-5, and I also don't think Baylor's that great. I'm gonna pick the Tigers.
This one was maybe the toughest one for me to predict because I think both teams are going to be better than they were last year. I'm very high on their quarterbacks. Problem is with Jackson Arnold, there's been the doubts in training camp, and Hugh Freeze has been not as high in. He's giving doubt for sure the way he's talked about Jackson Arnold in pressers, and for Auburn to be a road favorite by 2.5 against a Baylor team who really caught heat the second half of the season last year.
Is Sawyer
Makes
Robertson
me pause.
still there?
Sawyer Robertson is their starting quarterback this year.
Okay.
I expect Baylor to be better. I expect Auburn to be better. I just think Auburn, week 1, with the questions that I've had about Jackson Arnold and everyone's doubts, I mean, they have a great wide receiving core. Don't get me wrong. I think Auburn has a lot of talent, and they could win this game. I've got Baylor covering and winning outright at home. It's tough, but I'd like Baylor in week 1. If this matchup was week 2 or week 3, I'd maybe say Auburn, but I'm going to give the lean to Baylor.
Next game, Georgia Tech favored by 4.5 as they head to Colorado to play Dion. I think Colorado lost a lot last year.
Yes.
Obviously, with losing Travis Hunter and losing Shedeur Sanders. Was it Salter? Is their
Caden
quarterback?
Salter, the Liberty
Caden
transfer.
Salter from Liberty.
He just announced it like 2 days ago, too, as their starting quarterback. Expect Juju Lewis, the freshman, to have play time in that game,
too. I picked Georgia
too.
Tech to make the playoffs. I'm going to pick Georgia Tech here.
It's fair. 4.5-point favorites Georgia Tech is. I agree with you. I think Georgia Tech wins this game. I think they cover the spread as well. I think the problem I have is this feels like a weird game Colorado would randomly win and then go 3-9 after. The problem with Colorado is they've lost so much. Their offensive line is bad. They're going to need to rely on running the ball more this year. And honestly, I don't really see that happening that much for them.
Yeah, I mean, last year they won week 1 at TCU.
Yeah.
They won in a shootout. But I think Colorado just lost too much. And I feel obliged to kind of pick the Yellow Jackets because I picked them to go 10-2. So, next game, it's Bill Belichick's debut. This is on a Monday night. TCU favored by 3.5 as they head to Chapel Hill to play the North Carolina Tar Heels. You know what? I'm going to pick Bill Belichick just for the hell of it. I'm going to pick North Carolina to win this game. I don't really have a reason. I just think that why not? I think that TCU's kind of went downhill a little bit. I think their quarterback's a question mark.
It is not. I'm high on TCU.
You are high on TCU.
You remember, I had them preseason ranked number 21.
Yeah. Nah. Bill Belichick's going to get it done. Him and his girlfriend are going to bring North Carolina to a 7-5 season.
It could also come crashing down in week 1, and TCU could just steamroll into Chapel Hill and just take their hearts.
3.5.
They are only favored by
3.5.
3.5. I think it's all more so because of North Carolina.
I think TCU's quarterback's a furry.
He's not a furry. That was debunked. We've had this conversation already.
I don't care.
He's not a furry.
If you have any sort of thing, no, I'm good. North Carolina.
North Carolina, this does feel like a game that they could just absolutely come out and fire on all cylinders. Bill Belichick's in town. It's the greatest party ever. North Carolina wins by like 50, and then we call it a season. I don't think so. I think
they go 1-11.
They're not going to go 1-11. They'll be better than 1-11, but they will not. I don't know. We'll have to see with North Carolina. I think they're the biggest wild card probably in the entire college football season. No one knows at all what you're going to get.
I think it's this next thing.
TCU, I have going into Chapel Hill. I have them covering the spread. It's not going to be. I think this game will be close. I will put it that. It will be close. They'll cover the spread. I don't think they win by double digits. Although I think they cover the 3.5-point spread.
I think this next team is the biggest wild card in college football. Not Alabama. I think Florida State's the biggest wild card in college football.
It's fair.
Number 8 Alabama, favored by 13.5 as they travel to Tallahassee to play the Seminoles. Florida State's got to be better this year. They absolutely have to. Or Norvell's going to get shot out of a cannon.
Yes.
this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a great game. I think this is going to be a tough game. I believe this is a night game.
It's 3:30 kickoff. It's a 3:30
so
ABC.
It's the week one. I'm going to pick Alabama, but I think Florida State's going to cover the 13.5. I think that Alabama's going to win by like 10. So I'll go with Alabama to win the game, just because I have more faith in them. But I would not be surprised if Florida State gave them a fight and a big one at that.
I wouldn't be shocked if Florida State actually wins this game outright. Think about what the talks would be if Florida State wins this game.
Yeah.
I think that would be the most chaotic.
Tommy Castellanos.
This would be the most chaotic win of the weekend, by the way, if Florida State beats Alabama. Because then everything switches. It would massively shake up the college football world. I don't see it happening. I think Alabama wins. I do think Florida State covers like you. I think it's roughly a 10-point game. I think Bama, you got to get started week one. New quarterback in. Trust me, I have a lot of faith in Alabama. A lot more than you. We've had our bracket prediction. I am high on Bama. Week one kind of thing on the road in Tallahassee at Doak Campbell. You're not going to cover that spread, I don't think, regardless. But I think Thomas Castellanos will be good for Florida State. I think they've made a lot of good transfer portal pieces. They've picked up a lot. Squirrel White, Deuce Robinson, those are good offensive pieces that they needed. Florida State will be fine this year. They don't win this game. They possibly can, though. Don't be shocked.
Now we get to the really good games. 3 top 10 matchups in week one. Starting out with number 6 Notre Dame favored by 2.5 as they travel to the U to play the number 10 ranked Miami Hurricanes.
Yikes.
I know both of us. I think we can kind of run through this really quickly. I think both of us are picking Notre Dame.
Might shock you here.
Wow, so you're going to pick Miami. I don't have much faith in Miami this year. We've talked about it time and time again with the U. We don't have any faith in Mario Cristobal in big games. Carson Beck is a massive wild card. And I think Notre Dame has a better roster. I love Jeremiah Love. Funny. And while
you love Love,
and while they do have a new quarterback at Notre Dame, and was it C.J. Carr?
Yes.
Yeah, C.J. Carr. I like Marcus Freeman a lot more than I like Mario Cristobal. And the U's going to have absolutely no atmosphere because nobody goes to the games. It's at the Dolphins Stadium, and the atmosphere every time Miami has a big game is terrible. I think Notre Dame goes in there. I think it will be a close game. I will give them that. But I'm going to pick Notre Dame to win this game. I say probably by a touchdown.
So for this game, I'm going to give you a little lore about this game.
Yeah, Catholics and convicts.
Not just that. Notre Dame has not beat Miami in Miami since 1981. They have played there 6 times since. And they have not won every single time. Miami has always beat Notre Dame at home. Every time they play. No matter how good or how bad Notre Dame or how good or how bad Miami is, Miami has owned Notre Dame down in Miami. And there are question marks for both teams. You and I both are not that high on Miami. But what if they do win this game week one? What if they do pull this off? I don't think that changes anything because it's Miami. They'll choke later on in the year. And Notre Dame, maybe they just need that loss earlier in the season to get them really started. Notre Dame's got a tough schedule, by the way. They could lose two games and still make the playoff this year.
Yeah.
I've got Miami with the upset. Give me Miami to upset Notre Dame, and it's because of C.J. Carr. Let's see how he plays week one. And Miami has historically won this game in Miami. Give me the U. I trust that defensive line. I think their defensive line is going to be their calling card this season. They did lose a lot of weapons offensively. Carson Beck, I don't necessarily trust. But give me the edge to the U in week one. I still have faith in Notre Dame over the rest of the season compared to Miami.
That stuff you were talking about gone away.
It's not gone away.
So
it's
Miami's
just week one.
Beat Notre Dame, a top 10 team, and miss the playoffs.
Yes, it's Miami. Of course they are. Okay. They're going to go 9-3 after this.
All right, number
Notre
9.
Dame can lose to Northern Illinois and play for a national championship, okay?
That was one loss.
And that's going to be their only loss. And that's going to be Notre Dame's only loss of the season. Is to Miami week 1.
Doesn't Notre Dame play? They don't. I don't know if they play. Do they play Clemson this year?
No, they play A&M at home, and they play. I mean, they still have USC, and they have Arkansas on the road.
Arkansas sucks. All right. Number 9 LSU. This is the battle of Death Valley. Number 9 LSU at number 4 Clemson. Clemson's favored by 3.5. This is Saturday Night Football. Fantastic game.
To me, it's the game of the week.
This is going to be such a fun game to watch.
Brian
I'm
Kelly,
gonna
week
pick Clemson
1.
because it's at home. If it was at LSU, I'd pick LSU. I think the home field advantage is going to play such a big part in this. I like Garrett Nussmeier. I like Cade Klubnik. I think those are 2 of the best quarterbacks in college football. I love the roster on these 2 teams. I just like Clemson's a little more. I think Clemson's a little more experienced. I think Clemson's got a little more. I think they have a little more firepower too. And I also trust, as much as it's weird, I trust Dabo more than I trust Brian Kelly, especially coaching in big games.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pick Clemson legitimately just because it's at Clemson. If this is I'm assuming they play next year at LSU. If this is a home and home,
Should be.
I will probably pick LSU. But yeah, give me Clemson for this one.
To me, this is the game of the weekend, and I think that this game has the biggest implications out of any of them. That's just me, because I expect Texas and Ohio State. I expect both of those teams to still be really fighting for it. To me, this game matters more for any. No one has a tougher week 1 than Brian Kelly. This man can't win week 1 to save his life. He has not been able to at all. If he wins this, if LSU beats Clemson, buckle up. LSU's going to be possibly the best team in the SEC.
They would
if they
easily become, depending on what Texas does in Ohio State, they would become the favorite in the SEC.
Yes, that's what I think.
I would argue, even if Texas beats, well, no, Texas will be number 1. LSU would skyrocket up the rankings, probably to number 2, to be completely honest. Number 2 or number 3 if they go on the road and beat Clemson.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what would happen. This one, to me, that's why I think this one matters the most for both team seasons. Say Clemson loses this game to LSU at home, then it's like, okay, we have this championship roster, we think. We're in the ACC, who knows? But maybe they bottom out because they have a tougher game in 2 weeks after that at Georgia Tech. Say Georgia Tech's pretty good. A lot of people think that could be an upset possibility. Then LSU, they have a tough schedule. They have a tough conference schedule. And it's like you have to get started. Brian Kelly has yet to win week 1 at LSU. He started the year every single year 0-1.
This is 3rd year, right?
It's his 4th.
It's his
4th year. He's lost every single week 1 game. I think that does continue. This is in Clemson, South Carolina. Give me Clemson to win. Give me Clemson to cover it at 3.5 point spread as well. I think Clemson will win this game by a touchdown or 10 points. I trust Cade Klubnik at home. And I trust this roster that they've put together. The Tigers are going to win over the Tigers.
Yeah, Battle of Death Valley and Battle of Tigers. All right, last game of the week. The game of the week, arguably. Rankings-wise, it is the game of the week.
Yes.
It's the most hyped game for a while. It's been hyped since the Cotton Bowl ended. And both these fan bases are super excited for this game. I know I am. Number 1 Texas, the number 1 team in the country, comes to Columbus, plays number 3 Ohio State, the defending national champions. Ohio State is favored by 1.5. The spread doesn't matter. This is a pick'em game because this is going to be a great game. There are so many question marks with both these teams. Texas lost a good amount, and they have Arch Manning as their quarterback. Ohio State lost damn near their entire roster. But kept two of the best players on their roster. Quarterback situation. How's Julian Sain going to do against this Texas front? Is Julian Sain going to, fall under pressure? Because this is his first collegiate start.
Yes.
I believe he's a redshirt sophomore because I know he transferred from Alabama.
Technically redshirt freshman because he was a freshman last year.
Okay.
He basically signed to Bama and then hit the portal because Saban retired.
Gotcha. This is such a tough game to pick. Both of these teams are going to be in the playoffs. I have solid confidence in that. Texas has a championship roster. Ohio State can have a championship roster. They have championship players, just not the roster. I'm picking Ohio State. I think that it being in Columbus is going to mean something. That place is going to be nuts. I know it's at noon. It's stupid it's at noon. And it's going to be even worse when it's a 7:30 kick next year in Austin.
With Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit calling that on ABC.
On Saturday Night Football. But man, it's just you're unveiling the banner. You're unveiling the 2024 at the stadium. They've got so much hype around this game. You're going to have players from the teams in. I'm pretty sure Will Howard and some of these players from the past team who won the national championship are going to be at this game. This has so much hype. Ohio State does have question marks, and that's what's a little uneasy about it. You don't know what Julian's saying you can do. You don't know what your running game's going to be. The one thing that is for sure, your receiving core is going to be the best in the country.
Yes.
You know that. Their tight end and Max Clark, I am really high on him. The transfer from Purdue, I think he's going to be good. The offensive line is going to be solid. The defense lost a lot. They did. And arguably that defensive line is going to be what make or breaks this season for the Buckeyes. But if they are at all good, this team will be to be reckoned with. They will be really good. Once again, I still think they're going to be really good. I'm picking Ohio State. And it might be a little biased. It might just be because this is what I want to happen. But I also think we win. And I don't know why. I've been going back and forth for months about it. I picked Texas a while ago. I said, I think Texas is going to win this game. And now I don't know. It's not really anything to do with what's happening on the field. It's just a gut feeling. I think Ohio State wins this game. It's going to be a good game no matter what. Please, YouTube TV, get this sorted out.
They have until 5 o'clock at the day we're recording, so we'll find out after this posted if you can watch on YouTube TV or not.
Please get this figured out. But man, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I have faith in Ohio State to get it done this weekend. And by God, Matt Patricia, please be competent. I do not want you. I hate you more than anything, sports-wise. Do not make me hate you even more if you ruin my college football team. Yeah, I'm picking Ohio State. I don't care if it's biased. I don't care if it's, you're a Buckeye. Who cares? It's fun. This is going to be a great game. This is a pick-em game. Either team could win this game. Both teams are going to make the playoffs. Both teams are going to be very good this year and make runs to win their conference and to get a top 4 seed in the tournament bracket.
It's almost going to be as big as a tournament at some point.
Yeah, I'm picking the Buckeyes. I don't care. You can call me biased if you want, but I'm picking Ohio State.
I've been going back and
feeling.
forth.
It's nothing to do on the field. It's a gut feeling.
I've been going back and forth on this one. And it's really tough. It's really tough because Ohio State's losing a lot on that defensive front. Like you've already said, this defense, with the exception of Sonny Styles, Igbinosun, and, of course, Caleb Downs. Everyone else, Jordan Matthews, too.
Jordan Matthews, who's going to have a big role this year.
He will have a massive role. He'll probably be the best corner on this team this year.
Yeah, Igbinosun, he's all right.
As long as he gets a PI call, we're going to win a game.
This dude is way too handsy.
As long as he gets a flag thrown on him, I think it's a guaranteed win for Ohio State. That's my guarantee. Texas, they're losing a lot, too. I think a lot of people fail to realize that they're losing a lot and also bringing back some of their best players like Colin Simmons on the defense. They have retained more on that defense than Ohio State has, and their offensive line has lost more than Ohio State has. Exactly.
Ohio State lost legitimately everybody.
Both teams have a lot of expectation. Both teams have some of the best talent in college football. Mm-hmm. One team is looking for revenge, while the other team is looking to just continue. And I feel like Ohio State has had a bad rap of home games against quality opponents recently, specifically non-conference. Haven't been the greatest. You've seen Oregon came in a couple years ago, lost that game. You keep seeing Michigan come to Columbus and win.
Baker Mayfield in 2017.
Oklahoma. Ohio State hasn't necessarily always won those games at home. I think with the Week 1 roster, I trust Texas more than Ohio State. I'm taking Texas to win. Confidence level 0. Because I think Ohio State can easily win this football game too. I have Texas winning this game. I think it'll be a lower scoring game. I think it'll be like a 24-21.
Yeah, I think neither team will get over 30 points.
And I think whoever loses this game is going to be perfectly fine throughout the rest of the season.
They might drop 3-4 rankings at most, depending on the score. If it's a blowout, then maybe more. But if it's a close, like, one-possession game, you're dropping maybe 4 spots at most.
I think that this game is going to be very tight. I am picking Texas because it's not that I trust Arch Manning more than Julian Sayin. In fact, I haven't even seen Sayin play that much. I might trust Sayin a little bit more than Arch Manning.
That first quarter is going to tell a lot about Sayin.
We're
going to know how he's playing. We're going to know about the nerves, and we're going to know his confidence level after the first quarter.
The thing I trust the most about Texas, though, is this running game for Texas is going to be the best it's been in a long time. They have C.J. Baxter healthy again. They still have Weissner in that backfield. And if the defensive line is a massive question mark for Ohio State, and we've seen in the past with Jim Knowles when he first got there, they could not stop the run. I think Texas is going to be able to run the ball on Ohio State in Week 1. I think they're going to be able to control the ground game, and I think that's going to be the difference. I think Ohio State offensively will be able to do their part. I think they'll be able to block Colin Simmons. I don't think he's going to be a massive game wrecker. I do expect Jeremiah Smith to go off, but I do expect Texas's ground game to be the difference.
Do you have a final score prediction?
24-21 Texas.
Okay. All right. That's the picks for Week 1.
That's the picks, and that's the wrap of this episode.
Yep.
Here for you with the Scoop and Score Football Show. Before you guys leave, hit that subscribe button. Please.
Yep.
It helps benefit. It helps us out a ton.
And it only takes 20 seconds.
And it helps you out too. Okay? You want more football content? You want more? We're going to keep bringing more, all right?
And it's free. That's another thing you don't.
It's free. We're not asking you to bring any change. Give us any donate. I mean, if you'd like.
We're not asking you to donate.
Exactly. We're not asking for it. We're not begging. We're just giving you this free content for you. All right? Yep. We'll be back next week with some more college football picks, Super Bowl predictions, and more content. All right?
Exactly. NFL next week. It's going to be a lot of NFL.
Football season has finally come upon us. It's time we
take I put on a hoodie the other day. It was the weirdest feeling in the world. It was like 665 outside. I'm like, this is awesome.
Feels great, don't it?
Yeah.
I might need to get new hoodies at this point. I don't know. There might be nightgowns on me anymore. We'll have to see. But we'll see you guys next week. Take care. Peace out.